Hello everyone, in this video we are going to install our AKS hybrid with Squid Proxy. So basically what we are going to do is we will have Windows Server 2022 let's write it Win 22, and after that we're going to install Squid Proxy as a service here, with Proxy as a Windows service, and during the installation we will have our management cluster, we will have our cloud agent, and we will have our agent on the same machine, and cloud agent will talk to Proxy. Our AKS hybrid will talk with Proxy for the internet connectivity. So let's start. The first thing that we're going to install is our Squid Proxy with the file, accept, next. So be aware that Squid Proxy is installed itself on V directory. Let's click and then let's install. After the installation, let's check that Squid file directory is created. In the Squid directory, we have etc directory. In the etc directory, we have squidconf, and let's open this file. So this configuration file shows the port number that Squid Proxy is working. So it's working on 21, 31, 28. So let's check that it's actually working. Let's .-aon pipe find str -i 31 28. So Squid found it bind itself to every interface from 31 28. So let's start our installation, AKS hybrid installation. So this page is very important, AKS ACI Evaluation Guide 2B. We're gonna follow AKS ACI Evaluation Guide 2B. So it says that set PS repository. Okay, so we are going to install our AKS ACI modules. So let's start. Pass it. And let's prepare our commands. Right. And let's exit. Close the terminal. Let's open one more time terminal to get the affected PowerShell. And then let's follow the steps. Says that we will install module AKS ACI. So important. We're gonna install the modules that is necessary to install our AKS hybrid environment. Let's copy and then paste to our terminal. Let's wait a couple of seconds while it's installing the modules. Let's prepare the other commands. Perfect. It's AKS module, AKS ACI module is installed. Okay, so let's check that the version number. Get comment name. Sorry. AKS ACI. It will list comments that we can use for AKS ACI. So as you can see, the module that we installed is version number 11C, and these are the comments that we can use for our AKS ACI environment. Clean the screen and let's follow steps. So this is a very important part. It says that whether we want to assign IP addresses from DHCP to the VMs of AKS ACI, AKS Hybrid, or whether we want to assign static IP addresses to the MOC. So basically, we are going to deactivate the DHCP. So the this block will be inactive for assigning IP addresses, and we're going to use this to assign statically to the VMs. So let's disable the IP address block in our DHCP server because there's a DHCP in our environment. So as you can see, we will make this subnet disabled. Copy is disabled, as you can see. Window, and then disable the top. Perfect. And let's continue. Second step is Azure integration. But in this step, we can continue with service principal, or we can use our current account. So be aware that for to continue to with your account, you should be admin of your tenant, and you should be the owner of your subscription. And we're gonna register two resource providers. One is Microsoft Kubernetes, the other one is Microsoft Kubernetes configuration. So let's copy and paste it to that ++ to create our script, and then let's paste it to our PowerShell. Paste it. Oh, first it will try to connect to Azure environment, and after that it will ask me to find right subscription. I'm gonna select one of the subscription that I need to install. So this is the subscription that I'm going to use. So it shows that which subscription I want to register my environment, and then enable resource providers. So let's continue. And these comments are very important. Again, before registering the resource provider, don't continue. So if you click execute these comments, it will show you the status of the registrations, as well as you can check that from the previous comment. But by this way, we see that Microsoft.Kubernetes provider is registered. Then the other one is Kubernetes configuration. So if you check that Kubernetes configuration is registered, so if you see that as registered, you can continue to our script. But if you say that in registering state, don't continue, because you cannot do the installation part. So deploy AKS on Azure Stack HCI management cluster. So we are going to import the module, and after that we're going to execute the get command module AKS here, but we have already done it. Let's do for demonstration purposes. Let's continue. So this command is again very important. Initialize AKS ACI node. So this script is again very important, and you should execute this initialize -AKS ACI node in every physical server that you want to install AKS hybrid. So if you have 2 physical servers or 3 physical servers, this command should be executed on this service as well. And after that, we need to create directories. So these directories are for AKS hybrid environment, top parent directory. This directory is for image, which is for ISO and VHDX image. The other one is working directory for AKS hybrid, and this folder is for configuration folder. And let's execute this comments as well. Okay, we executed successfully. And again, this command should be executed in each physical servers. Let's continue. So if you choose the DSCP one, you should execute this part for A, or if you select static IP assignment, you should copy this command. So we choose the static IP address configuration. So it says that the VM IPs should start from 03 to 0149, and load balancer IP address should be from 150 to 250. And let's execute this command again. Okay, we have the configuration of AKS network settings, and we can continue. So this command is very important, set AKS ACI config. So it has some pre-checks whether if we can install AKS hybrid or not. But before that, we should configure our proxy settings. To do that, set proxy settings web page. Go to set proxy settings page, and let's try to configure our proxy settings. So I don't have in the Squid proxy username and password, which is basic authentication. So I'll go with configure an AKS host for a proxy server without authentication. This one is important. I'll copy this one and then pair my comments. So for this one, I need to get the IP address of my machine. So basically it is 10, and but the port number is wrong. We should change it to 3128. Let's check that if it is correct. 21 31 28. Perfect. So let's copy again this. Okay. And paste to here. Perfect. And no proxy settings again is very important to skip the proxy. Say that svc. It should be again .svc.cluster.local. So again .local. Okay. And after that, the DNS suffix is a very important configuration. So for DNS suffix, we should use the ipconfigs output connection specific DNS suffix. So we'll copy the AKS ACI local and then put at the end of the comment. Okay, so let's quotation and let's copy this comment. So we have the proxy settings, we have the VNet, but I check the VNet part. Ooh, I think I VNet, okay, proxy settings is okay. Let's type enter. Okay, so in that part, let's copy this comment and then prepare our comment. So proxy settings, which is proxy setting. Perfect. If you want, you can give the SSH related items, but I mean configuration. So for example, the IP address restriction and kind of stuff. So by this way, no, the limited IP addresses can access to your SSH service, which is AKS hybrid nodes. So I'll continue with proxy settings and then type enter. So first of all, it will check some prerequisites. For example, accessing the Microsoft endpoints. And after that, it will try to communicate some endpoints. And if everything is fine, this comment will install our cloud agent so that we can continue. Okay, it started the installation. Everything is fine, configuration is fine, prerequisites are checked. So let's go to the Windows services. Check VSSD Cloud Agent. So our VSSD Cloud Agent is installed. Let's see the progress of the installation. A couple of seconds later, it will be finished. And continue to install our installation. Installation is done. Cloud Agent is installed. Up to now, what we have done is we just paired this environment. Right now, we're going to install our management cluster. Okay, file. So let's do the registration part of AKS Hybrid because it's need to connect to Azure Cloud. So here, and let's put here. So this command will create a resource group in Azure in East US. And I need to select my. So this will create my resource group to register my AKS Hybrid. Perfect. So set AKS ACI registration. Resource group is created. I will register my AKS ACI. Let's wait a couple of minutes. So if you look at the output, it downloads some configuration and then files into the folders that we created in the previous comments. Okay, so successfully verified our KVA settings. KVA is okay, so we can start our command, which is install AKS SCI. Let's execute it. So this command will install our management cluster. So right now this part will be installed, which is the management cluster. Then if you assume that this is Azure Cloud, and inside the management cluster, it will install the Arc agent. So it will connect to the Arc enabled Kubernetes. So this is the installation process of AKS hybrid environment. Let's wait. So the installation basically finished.